Hello, amigas, cheetahs. Love Island USA is back, so let's get into it. Now, I am gonna try to condense that whole fucking 2-hour episode into a 10-minute TikTok, so please bear with me. So boom, with the intros. Anaya was the first one we got. She seems so sweet, so wholesome. She's looking for a husband. Not sure if Love Island is the place to find him, but I wish you the best of luck, my sister. But yeah, she's gorge and she's a Virgo. Shout out to my Virgo sister. Shout out to my Virgo sister, period. Then we got introduced to Kinsey, and cute girl, gorgeous gowns. Was she on something in, in this video? Her intro video was just a lot. She was very much like, hey, I'm Kinsey. I was just like, did someone perform a talk screen? Like, I don't know, maybe like she was just so excited because she just graduated nursing school and now she's on Love Island. Like maybe she was just really, really excited. But when she was like, the excitement is just pumping through my veins, I was like, is something else pumping through your veins? Mama, something you want to tell us? Then we got introduced to Melanie, absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous girl. And I love the fact that she said the whole thing about the girl's girl comment. If you're really a girl's girl, it'll show you how you act, period. Now, you did scare me a little bit when you said that you're just looking for a man who will actually treat you right. Because then if he wants a whole basketball team full of kids, you'll give it to him. Pump the brakes. A basketball team is a lot of people, mama. But listen, that's what you want to do. That's what you want to do, period. More power to you, girl. Then we got introduced to Beatriz. Bad bitch. Physique on 10. Then we got introduced to Trinity. She also is just really cute, really bubbly, body tea. And I love the fact that in the fire pit, she was like, yeah, no, I hate when girls say they like medium ugly men. I don't want nothing ugly around me, period. She said, I'm not doing no charity work. Thank you. Give me some fine shit now. Then we got introduced to the boys. First of all, Sincere, fine as hell. That's a beautiful man. And I don't know, like he seems kind of sweet. He was kind of giving me slut vibes. Based off the first impression on the Instagram feed, it was kind of giving slut just a little bit. But he was raised by his mom and his grandma, and I'm like, okay, those are keys to being a wholesome man. But then he said, there's only one Sincere and 8 million people in the world, so of course he has to share. And then I'm like, okay, well, hold on then. So, whether or not he's boyfriend material, that's very much still pending. Very much still pending. But what's not pending is whether or not that man is fine. That man is gorge. And when he let that hair down in the video, absolutely fucking said it. Something was purring. Something was purring, howling even. Then we got introduced to Bryce, the model. He's 29. He's cute. He seems wholesome enough. One thing that did kind of raise a little red flag was when he said that, modeling is such an on and off gig. And so sometimes you'll have a really big payday and then other days you're wondering, well, how am I going to pay the bills? Pump the brakes. Are we struggling with money? Is that what's happening here? Because listen, dating a bad bitch is not cheap. You know what I'm saying? Dating a bad bitch is very expensive. So let me know. You know what? He did say that he's a handyman and he's a DJ on the side. And so it sounds to me like that man keeps his bills paid. And you know what? I respect it. Then we got introduced to Zach. First of all, I don't care that you're Charlie's brother. That I don't give a fuck about at all. Like, was it cute? Like, oh, wow, crazy. Your brother was just here, now you're here. Yeah, it stops being interesting after about the first 10 seconds. Really, the most interesting thing to me about him was the fact that he's a directioner. Like, I'm sorry, he said that he loves an alpha woman and he loves to talk to girls about One Direction lore. You're saying all my favorite buzzwords. My tail is, in fact, wagging. Somebody slide that man my contact. Thank you. Then we got introduced to Sean. He seems all right. I will say, though, in his intro video when he said, he got somebody pregnant, it wasn't planned, but, it's the best thing that ever happened to him. Did you need to mention that on TV, for your child to maybe one day see in the future? Maybe not. Maybe not. Then I'm sorry, not to be that guy. I need a fact check. I need him to cite a source. Who the fuck called you Officer Sexy Pants? Didn't he say that he lives in Philly? That's even worse. Who the fuck in Philly is stopping you and saying to your face in broad daylight, oh, me and my whole family, we all call you Officer Sexy Pants? I need you to cite that source. But yeah, he was like, I'm looking for somebody who's going to go through it with me and, add to my child's life and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, wow, that is literally top 5 worst nightmares of mine. Then we got introduced to my stinker like Casey. And Casey, first of all, Casey seems like such a sweet guy. He really seems to have a passion for nursing and helping people, which I really love. He wants to be a nurse practitioner, which I also really love. I also want to be a nurse practitioner. We're just so compatible. Like, think about hurry up and come back home. Come back home. The kids miss you. I miss you. And then he mentioned in there that he's a pleaser. He likes to please his woman. Yeah. Yeah, he does. Anyways, I think that's all the intros out the way. Then they got into playing this fucking game with the doors, which is basically see how many people you can kiss in the first 5 minutes of meeting them. First of all, they couldn't have done the cats, dogs, and plants questions at the first question. The first question being, hey, which position do you like the most? Doggy, missionary, or fucking cowgirl? Is that not wild? What happened to hi, hello, how are you? Nobody has manners anymore. What happened to what's your favorite color? You know what I mean? What's your favorite food? Do you like going to the movies? Like, off rip, what's your favorite position? I'm taken aback. I'm really taken aback. And then I think it was Sean who was explaining why he chose doggy as his favorite position. And he talking about, yeah, I just like to pull the hair and grab the neck and spit in your mouth. I literally gasped. Because are these amazing things that you're saying? Yes. Yes, they are. You're saying all the right things. However, I just met you. Slow down. Another one of the questions was, oh, should you ever check your partner's phone, whatever. Of course, Sean said that no, you should never check your partner's phone. That's a sneaky young man. And you know what, Sincere, I'm right there with you. I feel like at first he felt like he looked crazy saying always, but I was right there with you. You should always be able to look through your partner's phone. Like, it should never be a thing of, oh, like, let me see your phone. And they're like, for what? Hello? I just feel like if you can have access to my private parts, I should have access to your phone. Point blank, period. And listen, the one time the Holy Ghost told me that I need to bust that man's phone open, listen, let's just say TT lost a smooth 10 pounds. You know what I'm saying? But that's besides the point. Back to the Doors game. So there was one question where they was like, oh, are you a dog person, cat person, or plant person? KC said that he was a plant person. He busted the door open. Nobody was back there. The face he made. And then because the producers cannot stand the thought of somebody going through a day without sucking somebody's face off, they set up that last question to basically say, everybody who is here to have a good summer, stand behind this door and y'all can start kissing. So everybody started kissing. But then we get into the recoupling and they did the whole stand behind the door shit for the person that you want to be with. Trinity chose Bryce. She was the only one there, so she coupled up with Bryce. Bryce seemed excited about that. Love that for them. Beatrice chose Sean. She was the only one there, so they're together. And Casey opened his door. Why the fuck did y'all do my man like that? I know I told y'all to leave my man alone, but damn, you didn't have to embarrass my stink like that. When he opened the door and nobody was there and he hit this. Oh, God. I'm not gonna lie. That shit, I didn't know if I should laugh, cry, hide, throw my computer across the screen. I really didn't know what to do with that because that's so humiliating. Oh my God. It was so embarrassing, but the face he made was so funny. And I felt so bad. And I'm like, damn, why y'all not fucking with my stink butt? Like, I would have been standing there behind that door, hot and ready for you, stink, like a Little Caesar's pizza. Okay, just know that. Rest assured. Then Sincere's door opens and it's Anaya and Melanie, greedy as fuck. But then he ends up choosing Melanie. They are a beautiful couple. Very good looking, like two very good looking people paired up. I really like how they look with each other. Kenzie chose to couple up with Zach and she was the only one there, so they're coupled up. And then by default, Anaya ends up coupling up with Casey. And I'm not gonna lie, when Casey and I were having their little chat separately and he was like making those little like nervous faces, I was like, oh my God, like you're so fucking cute. Like what? He's just such a little cute. Wait, how old is he? How old is that man? Okay, perhaps I need to reel it in because he's 23. What the fuck? It's actually getting to the point now where I have to check the ages. Oh, TT's getting up there. Anyways, moving on. Zach has a combo with Kenzie. And of course, like clockwork when it comes to these people, they start talking about hair color, eye color, and how, oh, I've never dated somebody who's blonde. I've never dated somebody with blue eyes. And And Kenzie's sitting there like, so I'm not your type? Honestly, I couldn't care less about that conversation. Like every time they bring up the hair and eye color thing, I just power off. But I bring that up because later in the episode, they have a whole thing where you get to choose if you want to stick with your partner or switch. Kenzie decided to stay, even though she's insecure about the fact that he said that she's not his type, right? And Zach decided he wanted to switch. As for everybody else, Anaya and KC decided to stick, and Melanie and Sincere decided to stick, and then Trinity and Bryce decided to switch, and Sean and Beatrice decided to switch. And then in comes Gabriel. In comes Gabriel and they kiss. He kisses Beatrice and fucking Trinity. And when I tell you I was panting, it was as if I was there. There was some powerful wizardry at work there. Wow. That man can kiss. I'm not gonna lie. That shit looks scrumptious. I was like, bitch, tag me in now. Then we got introduced to the new girl, Kata, I believe is her name. Body T. She's super pretty. And she kisses Bryce and Zach. I don't think she kissed Sean. I'm not sure. I was so reeling from Gabriel's kisses with the girls that I couldn't even really fully pay attention. But she didn't, I don't know if she kissed Sean, but she did leave Sean standing right where he was at, which was dumb funny. So I'm interested to see what happens in the next episode. But yeah, we are so back, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be back tomorrow to talk about tomorrow's episode.